I'm not hooking on this corner like they will be in a couple hours, but I'll tell you what, I will be America's next top hooker.
Yeah!
Nicely done. Nicely done.
Hi, my name is Jasper. I'm 36 years old and I come from Paterson, New Jersey. I was born and raised here in this city you see behind me. I lived here until I was age 17, went to college, and became an even bigger fishing maniac. What's really unique about the situation is that people who live in this type of situation never get out of this situation. And I educated myself, I had good friends along the way to help me, and of course I had my grandpa, who, for lack of, a better excuse, took me fishing as a kid to get away from grandma. He couldn't stand my grandma. So it was all about taking me fishing to get me away from grandma. And he did it to the point where it was ingrained in me, and I've never stopped. My grandpa died when I was age 14, but I haven't stopped since then. I've been all over the country to almost all 50 states fishing except for Hawaii. My friend always asks me to go there to her house, and I keep on saying I'll get to it. So hopefully this show will get me there. I've been to Austria recently where I caught a 46-inch long taimen, and I don't think many people from here go to Austria or Germany or France or Montana or Wyoming or to the Great Lakes to catch steelhead.
In my day job as an executive at a derivative securities exchange, I don't usually use terms like dude or blowing it up, but I don't usually run into people who can fish like Jasper. That dude blows it up on the river.
I've caught everything from little tiny brook trout in mountain streams to 300-400 pound tuna in the ocean, about 100 miles off the coast of New Jersey, to sailfish, to white marlin. It doesn't matter what it is, I'll figure it out. That's the whole thing. It's about being adaptable. And that's why I am the best suited for this show, because no matter what the situation is, I can adapt and catch fish. Now, yeah, my specialty is fly fishing, but you know what? I can catch fish with any kind of tackle you're gonna give me. I read the questionnaire. It says gigging, lobster trapping, spearfish, scuba diving, surfing. You know what? To win this thing, I'll catch the fish with my mouth if I have to. And living here makes you tenacious by nature. And that tenacity is what's gonna make me win this show. About working, professionally in the fly fishing industry, I wouldn't call myself a professional because I don't go out to make money as a person who would fish in a tournament for, let's say, $500,000. But I got lucky. I met a guy named Dave Klausmeyer at a fly fishing show, and he liked the flies that I tied. And he said, boy, can I have those flies for the cover of the magazine for Fly Tire? And he put my flies on the cover, I wrote the article, and Dave was amazed, like, wow, someone who actually gets stuff done who's motivated. So since then, I've been published, I think, in 12 to 14 straight Fly Tire magazines, and almost 2.5 years worth of American Anglers, which are published bi-monthly. So I've written over 30 articles on fly fishing in the past 2.5 years, just because I'm motivated and I get the job done on time. And on a side note, I have to thank my friend Alex, childhood friend of mine, professional cinematographer, who we created 2 instructional fly fishing DVDs with, and we're gonna do a bunch more because I'm all about teaching and furthering the sport. Behind me is School 13. This is where I teach first grade. I've been a teacher in Paterson Public School District for 10 years now. And I love to teach elementary school because, you know what, reading and the essential math skills learned in the first 3 years are very important to having lifelong success. Whether it's teaching the kids how to fish that I teach in school and taking them fishing to the hatchery and letting them catch their first fish and seeing their excitement, that's what I'm all about. You might call that professional. I just call it giving back. And I see this show as a way to gain exposure for me as a fly fisherman and for the whole entire industry, and to get kids away from playing video games out of the house and onto the river and stream. Because you know what? Fishing is exciting. Catching a fish, the fish jumping, reeling in the fish, netting the fish, that's excitement.
Why is Aaron America's next top hooker? Because the guy fishes harder, more often, and travels more miles to fish than just about anybody I know. Always in the water, always sticking big fish, and he's dedicated to learning and teaching and making more people get hooked by the sport. So for that alone, he's going to be America's next top hooker.
Hi, I'm Justin Massimo. Aaron Jasper is one of my closest friends. He invited me along with him on a fishing trip. This was our first time I had ever gone on a trip with him. And so we get into the car, and I can see he's exhausted, tired, and I ask him if he wants to stop and take a break or just wait. And he says, no, we have to get there by 6:30. That's the time when the fishing's the best. All of a sudden, I see him put on the cruise control. And as soon as he puts on the cruise control, he says, hold on to the wheel. So I think he's going to get something out of a bag or something like that. As soon as I get my hands on the wheel, he reclines his chair all the way back and starts to take a nap. Now, this is the second time I've ever met this guy. And I'm thinking I'm never going fishing with this crazy MFer again. As soon as we get to the river, we get there, we start fishing. I'm used to catching fish like this on my spinning rod. I would go a few times a year, and we're catching fish like this. 4, 5, 6 pound rainbow trout. 10 times the size of any fish I had ever caught before. And I thought to myself that day, I don't care if I have to ride strapped to the roof of this guy's car. I would go fishing with this guy anywhere. He knows where the biggest fish are, and he's willing to do whatever it takes to catch them. You've never in your life met somebody as crazy about fishing as this guy. Not only is he a character, but when you're with him, you're guaranteed to find big fish. And that's definitely why Aaron Jasper should be on this TV show.
I have to tell you something. Aaron is so crazy and has such a love of fishing that got Justin in so much trouble that he's actually lost a job over this fishing shenanigans.
Here we are at New Jersey's Ramapo River. This is the exact spot where I caught my first trout on a fly rod at age 6. And it's just a place where I think it's just important to take you to. You know, someone that grew up in an urban area and made it and did it because of fishing. That's the one thing that has taken me all over the country, has made me meet so many wonderful people, and I'm really grateful for that. And the experience that I'm going to get on this show, going to all these exotic locations and all these challenges, are just going to be new things to me that I'm going to meet and exceed at.